guys, so today's video is going to be my May TBR and I'm pretty excited actually this month. Excuse me, got a bit of a crackly throat with my TBR. So I do have a couple of extra books that I'm adding in this month to my list because I did not finish 3 books last month, so they're getting added in. Sorry for the traffic noise, you guys. Now that restrictions have been lifted, things are starting to get busier here. But let's get into my May TBR. So I do have in my reading bullet journal my TBR prompts. I have 16 prompts a month that I make up myself, and then the books that I am going to be reading. So most of the books this month, surprisingly, are actually ebooks. So that's fine though, like that doesn't bother me one bit. So what I think I might do is, no, I'll run in order of prompts. So let's get started. So for prompt number 1 is full romance. I'll leave a picture for these ones because they are ebooks. The book I picked for fall romance was Maple Sugar Crush by Beth LeBond. I'm not sure how to pronounce her last name. I'll put it up here anyway so that you can see. And this is actually the second book in the Autumn Burrow series. I've read the first one last year, like towards the end of last year. And this is about a character named Josie, and Josie was extremely lucky and she won the jackpot lotto in America, and it was something like 458 million or something like that. And she's the main focus in this particular book. The first book, she was not the main character, she was just one of like the secondary characters, but this book she's the main character, and then the main characters from the first book are now secondary characters. So basically this book, from my understanding, I believe it's about Josie trying to find love when everybody knows that you have millions and millions of dollars and are just gold diggers and greedy, including your own family. So I'm looking actually forward to reading that. They're not long, they're only around about 180 something pages long, which is totally fine by me. It's a super cute read. So that's the first book. The second prompt is Stories Set in a Cabin, and I picked Wild by Nature by Lynn Van Dorn. And this is a male romance, and it is, I don't know the name of the person, like the people in the books, but basically this guy, I believe, goes either hiking or camping or something to that point and gets injured in the woods, and then this other man, who I guess owns the cabin, finds him and nurses him back to health type of situation. And then obviously romance ensues. I do believe this is a little bit of a steamier romance than just like, you know, a cute romance. So there's that. The third prompt is Autumn or Fall in the title, and for that I picked The Alpha's Autumn Kissed Omega by Laurelie M. Hart. I'm pretty sure this is also a male romance, and it's also I believe, a werewolf romance. Excuse the truck. And I'm pretty sure our main character is actually a foster carer for orphaned children. And then I guess something, I'm like the worst person at describing these books, but I guess he somehow meets this other werewolf and they fall in love. Okay, so the next prompt is yellow on the cover, and for that one I picked The Witches of Cambridge by Mina Van Praag. I'm going to be honest with you, I have no idea what that one's about. No idea. Witches at best, but I don't know. I purely picked that one because it is all these books so far that are ebooks are all from Kindle Unlimited, and I picked that one because the well, A, I love any book to do with witches, and B, because the cover was so interesting to me. So, and it fit the prompt. The cover, excuse me. Ooh. I can't stop yawning. The cover is yellow, so you'll see when I put the picture up, but I'm sorry, I don't know really anything about that one. The fifth one is Cozy Mystery. So for that, I picked actually a physical book, and it is Magic and Macaroons by Bailey Cates. I believe this is the, oh, I'm trying to think. I can't remember whether it's the fifth or the sixth book in the series, but yeah, so this one is about Katie Lightfoot, and Katie Lightfoot is a light witch, and she works in the bakery with her aunt, and they, I believe, are having their spellbook meeting because they have a book club, which is like spell books, and someone wanders into the bakery where they're having the meeting and collapses on the floor. And so, of course, there is an investigation that ensues. And I actually really, really love this series. I adore it. It includes recipes in this. And I love the two little familiars, which is the cat and the dog. So the dog's name is Mungo and the cat's name is Honeybee. And it's just really delightful. And I really enjoy reading about this series because Katie Lightfoot, she's, I believe, either in her late 20s or early 30s. I can't remember exactly how old she is, but her aunt is older, and excuse me, I'm yawning again. I'm not getting much sleep lately, you guys. Her aunt is older, and her aunt and uncle have obviously retired but decided to open up a bakery. And then the other women in the magical book club range from different ages, from being really young to an older woman as well, and they all have their own individual specialities, which is really cool. Definitely a series that I do recommend, and if you love cozy mysteries the way I do, this is a good one. It's such a good one. So anyway, on to the next book. So prompt 6 is Supernatural Romance, and for that prompt I actually did pick a physical book, and I picked this one, which is Life and Death by Stephanie Meyer, and this is the 10th anniversary edition of Twilight, and it's the gender flip. So instead of Bella being the main character is now a dude. What is his name? Beaufort, that's it. So Beaufort Swan is the guy that moves to Forks, and Edith Cullen is the vampire in this one, so it's a gender swap. And so actually, even though I know not everyone likes Twilight, but I do. I was, 19 or 20 years old when this came out. I loved it. I don't go too deep into like meanings and all that sort of stuff. That's just, it is what it is. It's a trashy vampire romance basically, and I love those. So excited to read that because surprisingly, even though I bought this several years ago, I still have not read it. But I do want to get this read because the Midnight Sun book is coming out in August for this, which is Edward's point of view from his life and of what happens with him and Bella from, I guess, the first book. But yeah, so I'm really excited. So I am reading that. Okay, the next one is for prompt 7, which is Pumpkins on the cover. This is an ebook. It's called Autumn Loves by Tanya Stowe. I honestly have no idea what this one is about. Put the picture up here, either here or here. Actually, I'll probably end up on this side. I just thought it looked like a cute romance based on the cover, so I picked it. The prompt number 8 is read a classic, and I have a physical book for that. I picked The Secret Garden. I know this was in my prompts, I think last month, yeah. But I really want to read this book, so I picked it. My copy is a beautiful Mina Lima copy. Obviously there's many copies out there, but I just think this copy is beautiful. I read The Secret Garden when I was a child, and I used to love it when I was a child. My dad had these, like, he bought these special typed editions when I was a child of books like The Secret Garden, Black Beauty, all those types of books. I honestly don't know what happened to them. I don't know. But, and I've also seen the movie growing up as well when I was a child, and I have not read or seen the movie since then. So I want to read it again to see if I still love it as much as I did back then. And this book is just beautiful. The end pages, oh my god, so beautiful. And like the fact that this is like illustrated, like here, look at that. So you've got the illustrations, and it's also interactive. So let me see if I can find something that's not too hard to show you. Trying to find if it's like something that's not like too hard to show. Let's see. Some of these things are quite hard to show. Okay, for instance, there is this, which is a letter that you can open and open up the letter and read. I love books that have interactive elements like that, but I'm really excited to read this. It's a classic, it's beautiful, and I'm excited. So there's that one. The next prompt is for prompt 9, which is read a children's book, and I picked Wind in the Willows by Kenneth Grahame. This is an abridged edition. It's obviously a little bit different than the original, but I really thought that this particular edition was really cute, and I love the illustrations on this one. This one also has beautiful end pages. It's got little picnic baskets and butterflies on there. And it does have illustrations throughout this book as well. So there's black and white ones. And then in the middle of the book, there is these beautiful colored ones. And this is basically about Mole and he meets Rat. And they have, I guess, it's been a long time since I've read this, to be honest with you. And I honestly don't remember what it's about. But I guess they have a day of misadventures in the woods. So yeah, I just thought that this would be a really cute book, and that fits perfectly for that prompt. The next prompt is 10 full leaves on the cover, and for that I picked an ebook off of Kindle Unlimited called An Autumn Stroll by Leah Atwood. Again, I have no idea what this one was about. This was purely a cover pick, but it looked like a cute autumn romance, so yes. So that is that. Then for prompt 11, has a mum in the book or is a main character. So for that I picked 11, number 11, so that's, I picked Say You Love Me by Patricia Hagen. Again, I'm not entirely sure what it's about. I'm just being honest, I generally don't know a lot about most of the books that I pick before I go into them, so yeah. It's also Kindle Unlimited. So for prompt 12, has a magical element. For that, I picked The Vampire Knitting Club by Nancy Warren. This I saw on Kindle Unlimited, and I knew right away it was up my alley. So I believe this is obviously about, you know, the Vampire Knitting Club, but I believe one of the vampires there was actually turned against their will. And I think it could possibly be like a cozy mystery. I'm not 100% certain, but I just thought anyone who writes a book that's about vampires and knitting, yes, is up my alley. So I picked that. Then for prompt 13, is published in May. So I picked Murder at a Wedding by P. Creedon. This is book 5. It's a cozy mystery. This book is probably around 50-ish pages. I've read 4 of the others in this, and it's just really cute. It's about a woman named Emma. She's like 20. She has this really adorable little puppy, a Saint Bernard puppy called Molly that she's training to become a companion dog. And she has a thing for the guy that runs the canine unit at her father's sheriff department. I believe this one here is about actually her father getting married, and obviously someone gets murdered. So there's that one. Then for prompt 14, has orange on the front cover. For that, I picked Cutie Pies and Deadly Lies by Addison Moore. I'm pretty sure this is a cozy mystery series, and I believe the main character is able to see dead people. Not dead people, but their pets. So they're dead pets. And their pets are normally trying to warn them that their owner is about to die when she sees someone's dead pet, it means that that person is going to die, and so she tries to figure out why they're going to die and to stop it. So that one is actually the first book in a series. I'm not sure what the series is called, but it's a pretty long series. I think there's almost 20 books in that series, but yeah. So the next one is 15, which is a historical romance. I did pick a physical book for that, and I picked Highland Road by Deborah Hale. This is a Mills and Boon book, or Harlequin if you're not in Australia or England. And I believe this is about a guy that used to be a servant's son, and he ends up making like a lot of money, and the girl that he lied to was obviously his employer's daughter. Is in love with him, I believe, but he's in love with her sister. I think that's what it's about. I honestly don't know, but it's like one of those cute like historical romances, so I'm there for it. And it's not a very long book. It's like 289 pages or something to that effect. But yeah, so there's that one. And then for book 16, I picked a book where they go camping, and I picked a book called Cozy Like a Fox by Karen Cobalt. I literally have no idea what happens in that book, apart from the fact that they obviously go camping. I'm pretty sure it's like an outdoorsy type romance. Could be wrong. So that is my 16 prompts. And then for the 3 books that I'm carrying on from May that I did not get finished is The Inn at Eagle Point by Cheryl Woods. I ended up actually finishing this on the 2nd of May, because today is the 9th, I think. So I did finish this right at the beginning of May, but I'm still including it because I finished it in May. So this is Chesapeake Shores series. It's the first book in the series. It's also a Hallmark one. And this is about Abby O'Brien Winters, who lives in New York. She works on Wall Street, and she gets a phone call from her sister Jess, who says that she is in a dire situation and this is life or death, and she needs Abby to come back home to Chesapeake Shores to help her. And basically what is happening is Jess's inn is about to go into foreclosure, and she needs her sister to help her save it. And then of course romance ensues and all that sort of stuff. It was actually a pretty great book, but there's that one. The next book I need to finish is The Loveliest Chocolate Shop in Paris by Jenny Colgan. I am almost finished this book. This book is about Anna. Anna has an accident at her workplace. She works in a chocolate factory in England, and she has an accident, and in the accident, 2 of her toes actually get cut off, so she ends up in hospital. Sorry about that. She ends up in hospital for several months in recovery and going through rehab, because now that she's had 2 of her toes cut off, she does need to try and help with, like, go to rehab to help with her walking, to deal with the fact that now she's unbalanced, and so she's going to have to learn all those sorts of things. Now, obviously, her life has changed drastically. She did lose her job, and she could not go back to that job. So now she's out of work and she's out of hospital, and she kind of doesn't know what to do with herself. But one of the ladies that was in the hospital bed next to her was actually her French teacher from school, and her French teacher is in hospital as well because she has cancer, and her name is Claire, and Claire sets up for Anna to go to Paris and live in Paris for a little bit and work in a chocolate shop there. And the man who owns the chocolate shop was a friend of Claire's back in the 70s. And it's a delightful book so far. I haven't obviously finished it yet, but I'm really, really enjoying it. And then the very last book that I need to finish is The Love Shack by Jane Costello. And this one is about them. Gemma, they decide that they have been together for 4 years and they want to buy a house together. Except for Gemma is super, super fussy and always says no to every house that they look at until they find Pebble Cottage and they both fall in love with it. Now, Gemma is willing to do anything and everything to get this cottage, so she decides they're going to move out of the rental that they're in and move in with Dan's mother. And yeah, so basically that is pretty much what I've got up to so far in this book. There's quite a bit to go yet, so I haven't finished that book. But that is all my books, you guys. That is everything that I have picked for the month of May. Hopefully I can get through quite a bit of those. I do actually start to go back to work now, not the full amount of hours I normally work. The first week is only 3 hours. Because they're testing to see whether or not it's possible for us to be open now. So it's kind of a test run. But yeah, so I'm definitely going to try really, really hard to read as many of these books as possible. I really do want to read a lot of these. Well, actually, I want to read all of them, but you get what I mean. So anyway, guys, that is my May TBR. I hope you enjoy, and I will see you guys later. Bye!